Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hola to everybody in the room and online. My name is Sara Piot. I'm the Managing Director at the MTV Staying Alive Foundation, and I'm here with my colleague Akriti, who is our Program Director. So when we launched MTV Sugar in 2009, which is our flagship series that took African youth by storm, a girl in Nigeria stopped one of our characters, our actors, in the street. And he plays a character named Femi. She said, "Femi, you saved my life." And Emmanuel, that's his real name, said, "Why? What did I do?" And she told him that her and her boyfriend were planning a weekend away for the first time. And weeks before, they watched the episodes of MTV Sugar where the character Femi finds out he's HIV positive. So later on, she was with her boyfriend sitting together, and she said, "Let's do like what Femi did. Let's go and get tested for HIV before we go away." So they went together, and her boyfriend found out that he was HIV positive. And that's why she wants to say thank you to Emmanuel for saving her and her boyfriend's life. The actor didn't save her life, nor did the character. The story gave her the words she couldn't find on her own. That's what stories do. They give us an outlet to have the conversations we're terrified to have, and to seek help, the necessary services and support if we need it.
For over 25 years, we've been making stories for young people across Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, all the way to Mexico, the United States, as well as India. Stories about sex, contraception, abortion, HIV, partner violence, things that sit heavy on our chest and are really difficult to talk about. And our stories work. In Nigeria, people who watch our series MTV Sugar Niger were twice as likely to get tested for HIV, and chlamydia infection among women was halved. In India, with MTV Nishad, women who watched the series were 5 times more likely to consider an abortion during an unplanned pregnancy, and they were more motivated to talk to their partners about opting contraception. Why does this work? Because we show their lived reality, honest, uncensored, raw, imperfect, and sometimes hard. The way sex actually is when you're figuring it out, not how easy health pamphlets make it look at times.
Then back into 2015, when we were preparing to go and make a new series in South Africa, we were running a story workshop with some young people in Khayelitsha in Cape Town in South Africa. And it's something we always do. We go and talk with young people to find out what's on their minds. And so we asked them, what do you want to see in the next MTV Sugar series? So there was, this sassy 16-year-old girl, and she said, "Well, we want somebody to die." We're like, "Okay, and how do they die?" She said, "Well, that's not my problem, that's your problem, you're the writers." Like, okay, fair enough, but why? Why do you think somebody needs to die? And she thought about it and she said, "Well, because in our lives, somebody always dies. And MTV Sugar portrays our lives, you show our realities."
That hit us like cold water. So for the first time in our series, spoiler alert, one of the main characters in MTV Sugar Down South dies as a result of a toxic relationship. That's because we always center young people in our stories, their voices, their realities, their aspirations. We break stereotypes and tell the hard truth that everybody wants to hear but is not very used to, with the aim to create a future where every young person can make the right decision for their health and well-being before the crisis hits.
And this week, we're seeing here incredible work on family planning and sexual reproductive health and rights, despite all the challenges that we're facing in the world. New contraceptives, better access to pristine clinical innovations, new avenues of access. And while all of this is really exciting and necessary, in order to create change, people need to know about their options. They need to know what is right for them and where to access. And media can be the most effective tool to lead them to it.
Here's what we know. Young people will act if you speak their language. They might not know what family planning is. Honestly, it doesn't matter. What matters is whether they feel empowered to use it. Before we talk about abstract concepts like reproductive freedom or abortion stigma, we have to start with the simple truth. Sex happens all the time. Sometimes contraception fails. Sometimes you contract an infection. But when that happens, it's important not to panic because help exists. You just need to know it's there and advocate for it until you get the care that you need.
And one of our best recent campaigns came from the most absurd news headline that we'd seen. A couple was sued by their in-laws, by the husband's parents, for not producing a grandchildren after 2 years of marriage. The in-laws argued that after all they'd invested in the son, surely they deserved a grandchild, as if babies were loan repayments.
We knew immediately that this ridiculous lawsuit is someone's daily reality. And we had to challenge it. So we made an 8-minute courtroom comedy of it. Let's watch this video.
इन्होंने 3 साल में एक भी बच्चा पैदा नहीं किया है। इसका सीधा असर किस पे पड़ता है?
किस पे?
समाज के 4-5 लोगों पे।
इन दोनों के लाइफ में तो खुशी है ही नहीं, क्योंकि घर में बच्चे ही नहीं है, तो खुशी
I think we're just having some
कहाँ से आएगी?
जज साहब, इनकी दिक्कत ये है कि हम बिना बच्चे के भी खुश कैसे हैं? अंकल जी,
मिलोट, इन्होंने 3 साल में एक भी बच्चा पैदा नहीं किया है। इसका सीधा असर किस पे पड़ता है?
किस पे?
समाज के 4-5 लोगों पे।
इन दोनों के लाइफ में तो खुशी है ही नहीं, क्योंकि घर में बच्चे ही नहीं है, तो खुशियाँ कहाँ से आएगी?
जज साहब, इनकी दिक्कत ये है कि हम बिना बच्चे के भी खुश कैसे हैं? अंकल जी, किसी और पड़ोसी पे नजर लगाइए।
एक गोली खाओ, लड़का बनाओ, 2 गोली खाओ, लड़की बनाओ।
पहले आप ये बताइए, ओवरीज क्या होता है?
आगे की जिंदगी में बच्चे हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट है। फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी भी तो जरूरी है।
बुढ़ापे के फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी के लिए बच्चे पैदा किए जाते हैं क्या?
हमारा वंश आगे कैसे बढ़ेगा?
हमारा नाम कौन याद रखेगा, बताइए ना।
पिताजी को भी पूछिए, उनको अपने परदादा के दादा का नाम याद है? नहीं ना।
So the full video got 4 million organic views, 70,000 shares, and young people in the comments saying they wanted to share it with their parents, praising the husband for standing with his wife, celebrating the normalization of having children when you're ready, not when your in-laws demand it. But most importantly, it opened up conversations about reproductive rights belonging to the woman or a joint decision by the couple.
So here's how you can do this in your own work. Root your stories in local culture and language. Use music and humor. It normalizes it. Build empathy. Make people feel it. Humanize the statistic. Co-create with your audience. Not for them, with them.
A relatable story is the bridge between awareness and action. It turns data into feeling and feeling into movement, because no one reaches for choice in silence. They follow the echo of a story that told them they could.
I want you to do something. Think of a story you know that needs to be told. Maybe it's someone you know, maybe it's your own story. Could telling it change your life? If the answer is yes, tell it, film it, share it. And if you need support telling your story, come find us after the session.
Because storytelling isn't just a communications tool. It's public health in motion, and we need more stories to move the world. Thank you.
Thank you.